The hardest part of dealing with counting problems is understanding what approach do I need to take in order to solve this problem. So hopefully this is going to explain a methodical way to go through to figure out, is it a permutation, is it a combination, what do I need to do? So the first thing we're going to ask ourselves, is repetition allowed? Now, by repetition, what I mean is, can you choose the same thing more than once? So for example, if you are picking cards out of a deck, are you putting the card back in so that when you pick the second card, it's possible that you're going to pick the ace of spades twice? That would be repetition being allowed. Or, for example, you're going to make a PIN code for your ATM card. Is repetition allowed would mean that you're allowed to do 4444, whereas repetition not being allowed says that every digit has to be different. So you'd have to have 4325, let's say. If the answer is yes, repetition is allowed, then we're going to use the counting method or the task method. Where we are going to list out all of the things that we need to do, and underneath each of those, we are going to list how many options we have and then multiply them all together. If the answer is no, we move on to the next question. And the next question says, is order important? Now, it's crucial that you understand what this question is asking. So the question wants to know, if I have to choose, and I choose A, B, and C, is that the same as my choosing B, A, and C? Are those the same choice? So the answer is, if they are the same, then we know that order is not important. However, if A, B, and C and B, C, A are different, meaning we have to count each of them separately, then order is important. So if the order is important, it is a permutation, and if the order is not important, it is a combination. And that's pretty much how we go about answering these questions for ourselves. Now, the last way that I like to think about it, just to remember the difference between a permutation and a combination, is that since a order is important for a permutation, I like to think about it as the type of problem where we have to choose a president, a vice president, and a secretary, let's say. And so for permutation, I think about president, because we know that if we choose Bob to be a president and Charles to be the vice president, that is not the same as choosing Charles to be the president and Bob to be the vice president. So permutation, president. That's how I keep that in my head. And then for combination, I think about it as being a committee, because we know that if you choose Bob, Charles, and Alice to go to a conference, that's the same as choosing Alice, Charles, and Bob. So permutation, president, combination, committee, and that's how I keep the difference in my head.